Hey everybody, it's Kyle. It is a special report, and I think you guys know why, or maybe you don't if you don't collect records or listen to records or vinyl. It is Record Store Day 2025, the April edition. Now, there will be a Black Friday one, of course, too, but this is the April one, Easter one. Huh, never thought about that. Yeah, so here we go. What is it that I'm looking for here? I mean, I'll be honest, the list is a little sparse. I wasn't super excited about this list when I saw it. But there is one key element on it, and I think I've talked about it a little bit on here, and that is the fourth volume of Soul Slabs. This all started when I bought the third volume of Soul Slabs at a Record Store Day. And I think I had seen two at some point, but I just never bought it or something. I don't remember how I heard about it, but I knew when I was at Record Store Day that year that everyone was really interested in that Soul Slabs Volume 3. So I was like, well, maybe I need to check it out. I mean, one of the big things that I'm doing is finding new music, new to me. And I like the idea of Soul Slabs. It's Coal Mine Records and or Coleman. I don't know how you pronounce it, but they are taking singles that they've recorded at their studio for different artists, and then putting them on a compilation album. That's what Soul Slabs is. So they've got a bunch of singles, 45s, that they've mastered over time, and they're taking those master recordings and creating a compilation out of it. A lot of soul music, obviously, that's the name. But I got that Soul Slabs Volume 3, and when I got it home and started playing it, it ended up being definitely my favorite pick of that day. But it ended up being one of my favorite records altogether. And so when they announced that they were going to do a 4 this year, I was like, oh man, I gotta do that, and so it was a no-brainer. At that point, I started to try and find a copy, because I already bought Soul Slabs 1. I had a copy of that, so I had 1 and 3. So I tried finding a copy of 2, and I finally did, from a guy on Discogs. And I've had a lot of problems with this lately. I don't know if you guys use the USPS. I mean, we all use it at some point, but it ended up kind of getting hung up in the mail at some point. And the damn record was sitting about 35, 40 miles from me, just sitting in a postal hub for like over a week and a half. And you have to wait a certain amount of time, but what I've found is this, because I use the USPS for this side hustle that I'm doing, this reselling business. And what I have found is that if you go and report missing mail, within the next 24 to 48 hours, your package will be moving again. I guarantee it. And so I had a puzzle I sold a lady, and I'm not kidding you when I say it took a few days over 1 month to get to her. And realistically, it should have been to her in 3 to 5 days. I mean, normally for that distance that it went, it certainly would not be more than 5 days. And it took over a month. And now this is after the Christmas season too. So there's really hard to explain how that can happen, because they should be caught up by that point. I mean, now that they're laying off all these employees, and I hear that Donald Trump is going to try and mess with the postal system again. I know Gavin DeJoy quit. He was in charge of the post offices, the postmaster general or whatever. So it must be bad, whatever's happening, which really sucks, because I do depend on it for this business also. Anyway, regardless, I did finally get it. And I had no idea also it was a triple record set. The Soul Slabs Volume 2 is. It came in a box, like not in a normal vinyl slipcover. It came in a box. And yeah, it had 3 records in there. Now, I haven't listened to it a lot. I just haven't had time to. I've been really busy. But I've listened to the whole thing at least twice. And I can tell you it's good stuff, of course. Just like Volume 3 is, just like Volume 1 is. Well, I wanted to get that so that today, when I get Volume 4, I will have all 4 of them. And crossing my fingers that I get in there and get Volume 4 today at a decent time. I'm heading to Love Garden in Lawrence, Kansas. And if you don't know, I know I've talked about it before, but Seventh Heaven Records here in Kansas City, Missouri, closed last year, 2024. They closed down. And so that's where I used to always go, and you guys would hear me. I'd be waiting in line or whatever. I had some recordings of waiting in line and stuff, but I would take a photo or whatever. And I loved going there, man. It was early because they opened at like 7. This in Lawrence, they don't open till 10. They don't give a shit, but they do a little lottery thing at 9:30, and you pick your time you get to go in and look. Okay, so I'm meeting someone there from high school, Brandon, and he was a Cowardly Lion in our senior musical, and I was the Scarecrow. So the Scarecrow and Cowardly Lion back together again. This is the second time we've done this together. We did it for Black Friday last year, and we enjoyed it. There wasn't a lot to look for that day either. So this one, there's a little bit more to look for. There's the Soul Slabs album, of course. There's Lou Reed's Metal Machine Music, which I don't know on that. I'm not 100% sold that I'm going to get that one. I don't know if you've ever heard that. It's definitely a deep cut type record for Lou Reed fans. But yeah, I don't know. It's almost painful to listen to. I'm not really joking when I say that, people. It really is. It really is. Regardless, I'm not sure on that one. And then there's Dokken, Beasts from the East. Their big live album they had, maybe like 90 or so, 91. I don't remember. So it was their next album really after Back for the Attack or whatever. It's the next album after that, which I was never a big fan of that album. But when I bought their box set a few years ago, it had the first 4 records in it. It had the self-titled. It had Tooth and Nail, which is the big one that put them on the map. Alone Again, and it's a great record. And then the third one, which is my favorite, Under Lock and Key. I really like that one a lot, and it had that in there. And then Back for the Attack. So I've listened to all those several times too, but I'm not sure on this live album. I have to see what the track list is on it. I don't really remember. I'll look it up before I get there. But there's that one, and there was one other one. I cannot remember what it is. That's crazy. Old man. Getting to be an old man. That's all there is to it. De La Soul's got a couple 7-inch singles. Again, I'm not a big singles guy, so I'm not probably going to do that. Oh, I know what the last album that I'm thinking of is. It's the first Wu-Tang album in years, and supposedly the last Wu-Tang album altogether. That album drops today. So I definitely will be getting that, and I'll definitely be getting Soul Slabs. On the other two, I'm not entirely sure. I probably need to avoid looking at just their regular stock around because that's going to get me in trouble. So I might need to watch out on that because last time I was here, I spent quite a bit, and a lot of it was stuff that I found in their stock. So we'll see. I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that, but I do know Soul Slabs, and I do know Wu-Tang Clan. Going to get those for sure. I'm going to go ahead and cut out for now. I got to eat something. I got to drive because I'm going to be late. I'm already 10 to 15 minutes late on what I originally said that I would be there. And it wouldn't be a big deal, but I'm meeting someone there. So, all right, guys, I will check back in with you after I get to go in and get something picked out and I'm driving home. Talk to you soon. All right, so record store day. All right. Actually had a very, very good record store day. Got in there, got to looking around. They did not have Dokken, Beast from the East, which kind of sucks, but I'm not a big live album guy anyway, so it's okay. They did have Soul Slabs Volume 4, so I have all 4 volumes of that now, which is great. And then I got an interesting garage rock compilation too. I don't even remember the name of it. It's not one that I was originally looking for, but it looked really interesting to me. And, I've found that on some of these compilations like that, I discover other things that there's no way I would have. And I think really what taught me that has got to be Vinyl Moon. So sometimes when I see a good compilation like that, I'll go ahead and suck it up and go for it, because there's probably going to be someone on there I never heard before, and I'm probably going to dig them. And so that's why I do it. Jesus, these people drive like lunatics. Anyway, yeah, so I got that as well, and I'll let you guys know. I'll show you the album covers and the pictures and all that. But my buddy Brandon and I started kind of doing the wrong thing and peeking through some of the new arrivals on their use, which is always a great area to look. You're bound to find something before they put it in the category it goes in, because they have them all categorized. But we were looking through, and I saw Queensryche, The Warning, which that is their actual first full studio album. That's the one that's got Take Hold of the Flame on it. And that album is okay. It's not my favorite album of theirs is Rage for Order. And then my second favorite is Operation Mindcrime. But The Warning's good. And it was not a new version or anything. It's the old version. I think it was a record store day one. And there was a guy that was looking through these records at the same time as us. And he goes, hey, look over there. And it was the self-titled EP, Queensryche, with Queen of the Reich on it. That one's okay also, but I have that on cassette, and I'm not a big enough fan to fork over the cash for that one, because The Warning and that one were both $50 each. But they were in really good condition. And I was like, well, damn it. I mean, I really wish they had Rage for Order, because that's my favorite album of theirs. That's the one right before Operation Mindcrime. And so we kept looking through. I saw some Rainbow albums I was showing Brandon, and he's like, oh yeah, I got that one. And, we were just talking about, they had a lot of good things in there. They even had, is it Born Evil or Born Again? I cannot remember, but it's the Black Sabbath album after Mob Rules. So it's with Ian Gillan from Deep Purple is the lead singer. So it's the first one after, he's actually the third lead singer of Black Sabbath. I think that's the only album he was on, and I don't think it's very good, but I do know it's a really rare record. So I was pretty surprised to see it in there, and I toyed with getting it for a few minutes, and then I decided not to, because I know I've listened to it. It's not very, I didn't care for it very much. So, I mean, I love the band, but I mean, his vocals just didn't seem to go with it for me, right? A lot of people really like that record, but it's not me. It's not my thing. And all of a sudden, Brandon goes, hey, look. And he was holding up a copy of Rage for Order by Queensryche, a used copy. I could not believe it. I knew instantaneously if I left with just that, I'd be okay. I really wanted to keep all of what I had. But it wasn't that much. It was actually in immaculate condition. It's a record, RCA record company, or Club, RCA Record Club edition, which is fine. I don't really care because it's an original print from back then. Not an original print, not the one you find in the record stores, but that you would find in a music store when it was out. What I'm talking about is one of those ones you get in the mail, and it's in great condition. So I figured probably what happened is somebody came in and sold their collection. And they had a bunch of Rat albums too. I didn't see Invasion of Your Privacy, but I did see Out of the Cellar. And I did see, it was a Dance, Dance, Dance. I cannot remember what that next album after Invasion of Your Privacy is. Or it might be even after that. But it's the one with Way Cool Jr. on it, I think. Which I'm not a big fan of that album either. So I was like, nah, and I like Out of the Cellar, but my favorite album of theirs, beyond a doubt, has got to be Invasion of Your Privacy. So I have that, a really good original print of it, and then I have a Greatest Hits album. They put out some of those 80s hair bands, a bunch of them, they put out Greatest Hits compilations. I think they're called like Rat Icon, and then they had like Def Leppard Icon, Motley Crue Icon. But it's like a Greatest Hits. I even have a Sinatra Icon from them. But whoever makes those. Anyway, they had a Rat one, and I got it one day. It was like at Walmart or something for like $15. So I have all the Rat I need. I don't need any new Rat albums. So I just wasn't into it. But what I would imagine is someone that was a lot like myself and possibly Brandon, definitely our age group, sold their record collection. And yeah, they had Rage for Order, man. So I have a copy of Rage for Order now. I may be interested in getting Promised Land, but I'm not sure. I mean, realistically, with Rage for Order, Operation Mindcrime, and Empire, I'm probably good on Queensryche albums. I probably don't need anything else from Queensryche. I wouldn't be upset if I had a copy, even though I don't really particularly care for it. Operation Mindcrime 2, if they have it on vinyl, I'd probably do that. And then if Jeff Tate ever puts out Operation Mindcrime 3, and that would just be himself, solo deal. He says he's going to. He keeps threatening to. But it was always going to be a 3-parter. But I would like to have all 3 of those, So I've got 1. I would get 2. And then if he ever puts out 3, I would have that as well. So I don't know. But all in all, it was a great record store day. Got to hang out with my buddy from high school, Brandon, and he had a lot of fun too. We had a good time. There was a Saxon album that's 45th anniversary. He grabbed that one. He found that. And then he turned me on to this band called The Sword, and they had a record store day, something anniversary copy of their album as well, and he got that. So he was pretty excited. We both ended up spending more than we wanted. I mean, but it's difficult, man. I mean, when you come across something like that, and I've been trying to buy this. I started trying to buy Rage for Order and looking for it and everything before I ever even dreamt of getting Operation Mindcrime, or I knew I wanted to get so it's not before I dreamt, but before I even thought about actually trying to find a copy of Operation Mindcrime and or Empire. So I always wanted Rage for Order. That's always been my favorite record of theirs. I actually was just listening to it yesterday in my car driving around. So when it popped up and it was an opportunity, and I've been looking at it online, and everybody wants like $80 to $150 for it, I'm just not up for doing that, man. I mean, I've seen a couple copies that aren't that much, but they're not in really great condition. This one is almost perfect condition, man. So there you go. I got it. I'm excited. I'm happy. Got my Soul Slabs Volume 4, and I got that new. I'm excited to listen to that garage rock album as well. I bet I fall in love with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 songs, or maybe the whole album. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, a very successful record store day, and I am on the way home from Lawrence, Kansas now, and yeah, it's going to be a busy rest of the weekend. One of our granddaughters is coming to stay with us, and my wife's going to get the other 2 granddaughters, and they're all going to go together and go eat with my wife's mother, who's in a home. and spend some time with her and stuff. And then tomorrow, my wife's taking them all to a big Easter event. It's like it's not at a church, like an egg hunt there or something. No, it's actually at a place where they usually have a pumpkin patch. Actually, in the fall, they're doing an Easter thing this year, so she's going to take them all to do that, and they'll have a lot of fun and stuff. It's pretty pricey, and she's like, "I got it. It's all good," and because I would go with her, but she was like, we'll be all right. And I said, okay, that's fine. And so I'm just going to work on the business, do stuff for that tomorrow. I'll get some more stuff listed. I got to go home and pack up this TurboGrafx 16 and get that shipped out today. That's exciting. I'm glad that thing sold. That person is going to be very happy. It's a great system, and it's in great condition. They're going to be thrilled when they get it. So I'm excited about that. And should be a good thing. I'm pretty jazzed, so we'll see. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's all I got to report. Go ahead. Sorry, someone was in front of me and they don't know how to pay attention to signals to go around. There's a truck and it is going outrageously slow, but it's a heavy equipment. Oh, it's carrying a big ass crane. Holy shit. Whew. Oh my God, dude, this truck is like something out of a freaking war zone. It is so big. Ugh, looks like it could drive over a tank. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got, guys. Thanks for listening. I'll be back in a week with a regular episode, but this is the special report from the April Record Store Day 2025. Talk to you guys again soon. Bye-bye.